This is the January 2023 Media Spotlight. I'm Greg Friese, Editorial Director for the Lexipol Media Group. Pleased to take a few minutes just to tell you about some of the great stuff happening at the Lexipol Media Group sites this month. As always, lots of news, great information you can access from the home pages, including original content. I want to just highlight some of the things we've covered. This article about a video from a Connecticut cop fired for misconduct against a driver while directing traffic was an early hit on Police One. Lots of discussion came from this about traffic duties. Our analyst, Lieutenant Dan Marcoux, wrote a great set of learning points from watching this cop lose his temper that then generated lots of responses from our readers. We also were at SHOT Show, a big event for firearms and other outdoor products in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago. The highlight of SHOT Show is also always Industry Range Day. Here, Lindsay tells us about 4 products that really caught his eye: a mini tourniquet, the always venerable space pen, a new pistol, and some other stuff that he saw, a less lethal launcher. This, I think, feel-good story, really wonderful. A Utah trooper who was injured, actually reunited with a doctor who saved his life 45 years ago. There's a video. There's also a podcast here to listen to the two of them and their meeting. On National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day on January 9th, we published our annual 50 States, 50 Police Heroes, a huge undertaking by the Police One staff to put this together, and final component of our 2022 year in review coverage. Of course, we've continued to follow the news related to Memphis Police Department, the death of Tyree Nichols, the firing of 5 police officers, it looks like the dismissal of several others. Again, Lieutenant Dan reflected on this incident, and make sure you read all the way to the end. He leaves a real powerful conclusion that I hope everyone that reads this feels the weight of it like I did. Of course, on EMS1, we started the month with this huge news about the Buffalo Bills safety, Damar Hamlin, collapsing on the field in cardiac arrest. Covered that with all sorts of news, some analysis about the treatment he received. This got a lot of attention on Fire Rescue 1 and EMS1, and deservedly so, a real opportunity for fire and EMS to talk to their communities about cardiac arrest care. Just when we couldn't think we'd have a bigger news item on EMS1, we did. This news out of Illinois: 2 EMS employees facing murder charges, stunning body camera footage, really awful EMS. This is worth diving into. Our friends at Page Wolfberg and Worth wrote a really in-depth analysis for the profession soon after the body camera footage came out. And then they continued on with a 2-part series about action steps for EMS leaders and then action steps for EMS providers. Because it's not enough just to be outraged at the video footage. It's like, what are we going to do with this information? Same thing from Memphis. Like, how do we change practice? How do we change our professions? Over on Fire Rescue 1, early mid-month, we had this terrific story about a man who fire and EMS crews had to make a decision. Do we do a field amputation, or does this man potentially die right here in front of us? And this tells his story and his appreciation for the care he received. Some controversy in the fire service and a policy tie-in. This firefighter was fired for a head tattoo, maybe her hairstyle, controversy about was the policy being applied just to her? Was it evenly applied across the department? Linda Willing followed this up with some great analysis that I think is worth reading as well. And then Janelle Foskett, Aaron Zamzow, who also does work for Lexipol, they launched the Better Every Shift podcast in late December. They did this recap of the January news, but make sure you check out Better Every Shift. You can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts, plus on the sites, plus on YouTube. You've probably heard some news at this point about ChatGPT, this amazing AI tool that generates content. Rachel Engel is taking a step at how we might use ChatGPT in the fire service. You know, ChatGPT wrote some tweets about fire prevention. Read what Rachel's written and then think about how ChatGPT, other AI tools, not only are going to change the public safety, but maybe change our jobs as well. And then a couple original content articles I want to draw your attention to. A wonderful article about Drew Neal making the transition from being a company officer to a battalion chief and how that's changed his relationships in the fire department. And then an article about training, a catchy title, The Baby's Not in the Fridge. Training's got to give people opportunities to win, to have success. And if training becomes too implausible, it's first of all, it's not worth the time and resources to undertake it, but what lessons are people actually learning? Make sure you check this one out as well. And then a couple of new things dropped this month. We've got the Police One Guide to Patrol Vehicle Electrification. We had a webinar. It's actually happened today. You can watch the on-demand version about mass shootings. An amazing esteemed panelist for Fire Rescue 1. Early this month, we had Ron Duckworth talking about sepsis, a great dynamic speaker. And then, we're going to dive right into February, but we're already looking forward to being at FDIC in April and other events throughout the spring.